everybody. How are you? It is me, Denise, and I give and this dude here. This is Donovan Sadiq. And,
There's nothing she can say to spoil my day. Okay.
I'ma try just because. No.
Because when the money is flowing, Donovan is a glowing.
All right, Dolomite.
Right.
Did you see that, by the way? You didn't see it? You gotta watch it. It's
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
I'm gonna watch it for the third time.
Okay. Good.
So anyway, you guys, hello. How are you? We're just gonna give everybody a couple more minutes to get on here. It is Free Flow Friday, where we kind of are a little bit, I guess, loose, if you will, with the topics and the conversation. So we're also
Missy, did you see my meme I put up about birds of a feather flock together? Check that out. It's and I'm going to talk about it on the second part of the show.
I haven't seen it, but because I haven't been on Facebook all day looking at my hair. Look like I'm getting gray hair.
No, that's just your gel and light.
Right, the way the light reflects on my
dome.
There you go. Now the rabbit is getting old. Okay, let's just keep it real. So anyway, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Hello everyone, it is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, his heart don't pump no Kool-Aid Sadiq, and this is our Friday edition, which is now called, for now, Free Flow Friday. See, I'm getting better at saying that.
Right, and we were the first to do it because now you're seeing a lot of other platforms.
That's not, well, you know, hey, Free Flow Friday. I'm sure somebody else probably did it before us, but we're using it for now. Hello to everybody on Facebook. Hello to everybody on YouTube and to all the podcasts. Lord have mercy. You said we've been added to 5 more podcasts.
We've been added to 5 more podcasts. And Google Podcast has another one now, so I mean, you guys can catch us on all the platforms.
Well, run it on down, brother. Where are we at?
And Tumblr. I mean, there's podcasts I hadn't even heard of, and I'm thinking, okay, add it. And the one I can't get on, and I hate it, Apple Tunes or whatever.
Well, don't you need an Apple device? You ain't got no Apple.
Well, no, because we're doing a podcast, you don't necessarily need one, but to get on there, then they want you to sign up and do the I ain't doing it because I don't have an Apple, so no. I ain't doing that. So if those of you guys are on the Apple thing, get with your Google friend and you can call us up. And you can call up individual shows, the Demetra K Show, the Donovan Sadiq Show, so on and so forth.
So anyway, we are everywhere, okay? Yes. And so, again, hello, YouTube. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. Be much appreciated, where we like to bring various topics and great dialogue. And so anyway, the topic of discussion, we have 2 topics. We're talking about Monique.
My girl!
I have a feeling there's probably going to be a little bit of an argument about Monique, but that's fine. I'm ready. I'm ready to do that. And we're also talking about Trump, birds of a feather flock together, and all Trump and all his cronies and different people, cohorts, people who've been in trouble, quote unquote, if you will, with
Top advisors. Everybody is going to jail. And remember that saying your grandmother and mom used to say, birds of a feather flock together? Either Trump is a criminal also, which explains his behavior, because he seems to be surrounded by criminals.
I thought you was going to say the things that your mom and your grandma used to say. A whole lot of things came to mind.
Yeah, right.
A car got 4 tires and a spare. Never, never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. These are the only 2 suckers I trust. Okay? That's my great grandma used to put her money in a booth.
Right.
But anyway, that's a whole different story. So anyway, let's get it popping, y'all. Let's start talking about Miss Monique, if you will. So, you guys, you probably heard yesterday, Monique and her team, her people, if you will, are suing Netflix. So why are they suing Netflix? Well, if you guys remember earlier this year, I think it was actually last year. Time's going by so fast. Mm-hmm. It was actually the end of last year. Monique called for a boycott due to Netflix lowballing her, in her words.
Nah, girl, I don't want no boycott because, you know, that's your money, your money's your money, my money's my money. So don't worry about my contract.
I'm going to watch my Netflix.
That's right. I'm going to watch my Netflix.
Right. So anyway, she called for a mass boycott, if you will, because they, being Netflix, only offered her $500,000 to do a stand-up. Now, anybody who's familiar with Monique knows that she is very decorated. And it says, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard her saying, I haven't heard anybody dispute it. Most decorated as far as awards comedian in the world. So we know Monique as the Oscar winner for Precious. She had the hit series The Parkers. She's done the Queens of Comedy, and a whole host of other movies. So Monique is what you call a veteran in the game. She's been in the industry for over 30 years. She started off as a comedian. She says people like to call her an actress, but she always corrects them and says, I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian first, and I'll always be a comedian.
Amen.
And so she was lowballed for $500,000.
Which to the average Joe six-pack, that's a lot of money to us, but,
but
the going rate.
Right, but when she broke it down, she says it's not really a lot of money. By the time everybody's paid and she's taxes and everything, she's probably going to walk away with less than $50,000 of that. So she also drew the comparison to a few other comedians, to which a lot of people took exception to and kind of got offended, if you will, in saying she's not a Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle.
No, actually she's better than them because she's an Oscar-winning comedian.
And I don't think, and I haven't seen any of them really dispute that. And she hasn't said herself that I'm better than them. I think her argument is that she is just as good as them.
Right.
If anything, but $500,000 is very insulting. And so she also brought up that of Amy Schumer, who is, I've never seen anything Amy Schumer's in, so forgive me.
She was in a movie with Goldie Hawn that bombed at the box office big time.
Was it Baby Mama or something?
No, it was something stupid where she's lost in the Amazon or something like that. Her mom accompanies. It was a very bad movie.
So anyway, so Netflix originally offered her $11 million, but then she was able to negotiate up to $13 million. So Netflix paid her $13 million. And so the pushback on that is, well, Amy Schumer sold out Madison Square Garden. Monique has not done that. Okay, so I think that's a fair argument. But again, Amy does not have the accolades that Monique has.
Exactly. I mean, Amy has a different audience.
Right. So, going back to yesterday when we learned of the lawsuit that she is leveling against Netflix. Now, I don't know how much it is. It doesn't really say, but I'm sure it's up into the millions, lots of millions, if you will. So, she's suing Netflix due to discrimination regarding gender and race, right? So, she's saying because she's a woman that she was lowballed, and because of her race, she was lowballed. And she also made it a point to say that the ex-CEO of Netflix was fired. If you guys remember, he was in the news for using an N-word a bunch of times.
Right.
And so,
Correct.
And it was on record that he's done that. So there's a little proof there that there might have, at the time, when she was asking for the boycott due to lowballing her, there is some good proof, evidence that there was some racism going on. You have the CEO of Netflix using the N-word. Now, how that applies to her, I'm not really sure. But so, there's a lot of people who are saying that she's not going to win. And my argument is this. That all remains to be seen whether she's going to win or not. But I also say this, just using just a little bit of common sense. I just tend to believe, because a lot of us have been to lawyers before, right? For whatever reason. And a lot of times, and the stuff we're suing over is not that monumental like that of Monique, and, to everybody. Ours is not that big of a deal. So I tend to think, comparatively, so I tend to think that, and to my point, we've been to lawyers, and they probably said, well, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't see how I can defend that. I don't necessarily see that you have a case.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to take your case. Right? Most people who've seen a lawyer, and especially if you're very litigious, I'm not, but I've had a lawyer, something happened with my daughter, it told me, well, I can't do it. Maybe there's somebody who can, but you need a little bit more. So the point that I'm making is Monique is going to spend all this money on a legal team, and she has no proof. She has no case. And on the other end, like I said, the example I gave, most lawyers, especially if they're high esteemed, for one thing, you got to remember, they're not going to want to risk their reputation. So somebody like Monique, her story has been in the media for over a year now, and she's talked about it quite a bit. So a lawyer and a law firm is not going to risk their reputation going out there on a flimsy case. That's just a fact, right? They have to have something to believe that they're going to win, a smoking gun or something. The other pushback that I give when people say that Monique is not going to win, she doesn't have any proof. So for those of you guys who follow Monique and have listened to Monique, every time Monique has said something or leveled an allegation against somebody, Monique has done what? She's brought
receipts.
She's brought
she brought the receipts.
every single time. I can't think of one instance where Monique has said something and somebody's been able to prove her to be a liar. Let's take it back to the whole Tyler Perry and the Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and all that stuff. When that went on, a lot of people were in dispute of what she was saying because they, being the people I just mentioned, labeled her as being difficult because she refused to work for free in promoting Precious, the movie by Lee Daniels, because as she tells it, Lee Daniels called her up on a favor saying, hey, nobody really wants to do this with me. I asked Oprah, she said no, or she wouldn't return my calls is what she said. And so she decided to do it. She got paid in Hollywood terms, in comparison to Hollywood money, a measly $50,000 to do it. So when the movie blew up and did farther than what it was expected to do.
And real quick, she didn't ask for any more money.
Correct. But they wanted her to travel
to do the promotion.
Not just up the street.
Right.
They wanted her to go across
Paris,
the world.
And
for free. They wanted her to promote this movie for free.
Because that's part of what the job's to do. So you only paid me $50,000, and I did it as a favor to you.
Right.
$50,000. You made quadruple that amount of money in box office.
Right.
I'm not asking for any more money. I'm just telling you I want to spend time with my family. And if you want me to do the promotion, there's a price.
That, and at the time she was doing, and that's another thing, Monique had a talk show for a while.
Yes.
Remember that talk show she
on
had?
BT,
I mean, Monique's had quite a bit of things, if you really think about it, but she was doing the talk show at the time. And so she says, well, you know, in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to leave what I'm doing, and you want me to do it for free. Plus, I travel with a team, so I'm going to need expenses paid for them.
Right.
So if I do that, that means I'm going to be covering hotel, travel fee for all of those people. I can't do it for free. And so she ends up getting labeled, because she said even Oprah called her and said, hey, I'll let you use my private jet. But she's like, yeah, but I need the private jet and a check.
Right.
So she gets labeled as being difficult in Hollywood, and as in her words, she says she was white-balled. Okay, she was white-balled.
See, the comedian in her always comes out.
Right, not black-balled. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any comments because I don't see any. Can you try to do a comment to make sure I'm able to get comments? So, so she says she was white-balled, not black-balled, because the white executives, I guess, were white-balling her by way of the black Hollywood players, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and I guess a few other people. The other cat that does the black movies, Will Packard, I guess he kind of jumped into it as well. And so ever since then, she's kind of been defending her name, but she comes out with, as you say, people would say, receipts. She has emails, she has voicemails, she has all this evidence saying, here's the proof. Okay, so it works. So here is the proof. Here is the proof. I am telling the truth. And so that's my rebuttal to these people saying, well, she has no proof. I'm like, who takes on, like, she's not taking on the local Piggly Wiggly. Right. She ain't taking on the mom and pop store up the street. She ain't taking on Donovan Sadiq for having an event and he didn't pay her. Right. She's taking on Netflix is worth billions of dollars.
Kind of like a Byron Allen.
Correct. So to say that this lady is going to spend all this money and she has no proof is this absurd. Now, proof is another thing than evidence that is going to win you a case. I agree with that, but just to assert, well, she ain't got no proof. That is so silly just at the heart of even saying that. As a matter of fact, this guy, his name, I won't say his name because, you know, maybe he doesn't want to say, well, he blocked me anyway. But anyway, on my post, he basically says, who cares about Monique? She's a fat, broke, you know, loudmouth, this, that, and the other.
Bitter black woman.
She's not funny. So for lack of better words, I ate that Negro's lunch. Okay. And I told him that. I ate his lunch.
Did you leave him at least a potato chip?
No, I licked the plate clean on his ass. You know, because then he started to say stuff like, she's broke, she's this, she's that. And so I kind of got a little bit perturbed, if you will, because it's like, you're not going to come on my page throwing rocks at this black woman. Right. You have no proof talking about she broke. That's why she on Facebook ranting and raving. I'm like, dude, go to your Google to tell you she worth $13 million net worth. Right. I'm not saying this is money she has, and she's net worth. This is what it says, $13 million. So it doesn't sound like she's broke. if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these people who are making these claims and accusations based off of how they feel about her talent. Somebody else said, hey, Michi, somebody else said, well, she's not, I saw her in this and she wasn't that funny in Queens of Comedy. I said, well, you hit and you miss. You win some,
right.
You lose some. But just because she wasn't funny in that, don't mean she's not funny at all.
Right, but you also got to remember, too, funny or not, she still cleared the check.
I'm just saying.
She still cleared the check.
Right, and that's what I said to the dude. I said, she's not funny to you, but she laughed her ass all the way to the bank.
Exactly.
You know, and then he got in his feelings and said, I'm turning off the polls or this notification because this, that, and the other. I said, no, you turn off the notification because I ate your lunch. Okay? Let's keep it real. You know, but so, and then I also said to people, because like a lot of people like to throw Monique's husband under the bus.
Right.
And that really disturbs me because she made a good point. As you guys could tell, I'm a little bit biased because I like Monique. You know, more so, I like her as a comedian, but I like what she stands for. And Michi said she's got to have proof and they're going to pay her. I really hope so. You know, but...
Well, I think she has a very good case, if you ask
me. I think
me.
she has a good case, too.
Because you give the white chick all this money, and you give the, I guess, the average so-called super comedian a certain median.
They pay, you know, Jerry Seinfeld, I guess, I never was into Jerry Seinfeld, but I guess a lot of people are. They paid him $100 million.
Right.
Plus some other stuff. You know, fine. We know that they paid Dave Chappelle $60-something million.
Right. I mean, let's look at the median of it.
Right.
Let's just go to the median. Use the bell curve in college.
Right. It's not even, what they offered her is not even nowhere near the ballpark. And not only that, okay, so back to my other point about her husband. Now, and I'm going to try to remember this other point.
How the people come for him all the time.
People like to come for her husband. Hey, Sydney. And Sydney says she's got to need a dream team to go against those crackers. Hopefully she has one. Mm-hmm. And so, so people like to come for her husband. Oh, well, you know, he's messing up things for her. He's a bad manager and this, that, and the other. Monique makes a good point and says it's funny that not Nan Negroid said anything when the white boys was managing her, having her ink deals that was bad, and, you know, oh, we'll get them next time,
right.
Monique.
Well, what was that movie she was in, Fat Girls?
Yeah.
Terrible movie.
Right. So she said nobody had a problem when the white boys was taking her movie, her money, and giving her bad deals. But the other thing I want to say about Sydney, her husband, Sydney is doing what he's supposed to be doing for his wife. He's making sure that her back is covered and she is not getting screwed over. And another thing I like to say to people, so since Sydney has been her manager, we don't know all that she's done, but the two things that stood out to me is that a lot of people don't know this either. Monique was and is the first black female comedian to have a residency on the Vegas Strip.
Right.
Did anybody know that? So that's obviously her husband had a hand in that. If he's so terrible. The other thing is, since her husband is her manager, she was one of the executive producers on Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, however you see him. He's one the same person. On his
Lando Calrissian.
On his Adidas commercials for his own personal tennis shoe. It was five or six commercials that she was the executive producer of and was the leading character in those commercials. Can't be too bad of a manager if he's inking her those kind of deals, even after she was whiteballed, in her words.
And to me, isn't that a good business move? Because, I mean, how many times do we hear stories of athletes that have these managers that take millions and to cajillions of their dollars and nothing they can do about it? This guy's cutting out the middleman.
Right, but and not only that, Don's a good point that you make, and let me get to remember that. Daryl's point says she is making too many waves in Hollywood, and if she does not watch it, she'll be like Kaepernick, will be blackballed.
She's already there.
She's already
past
there.
that.
But and that's a good point, Daryl. But to your point, she says that to her, it's not necessarily about the money, although I have to believe it is a little bit. It's about the people that's going to come behind her.
Right.
That if she would have taken such a low offer, now, Wanda Sykes, I think they said they offered her $250,000.
Yeah, and Wanda took it.
Well, she negotiated, and they said they moved the comma. This is the other point I want to make, is that Monique says there was no negotiation. They told her, take it or leave it.
Right.
Take it or leave it. So people are saying, well, she don't know how to negotiate. She don't have negotiating skills. From what Monique is saying, and so far she has not been proven a liar. She says there was no there was negotiation wasn't even a part of the process. It's here. This is what we have. Take it or leave it.
Right. For those of you guys that don't know about the airline, do you know in the 1970s to be a pilot, an airline pilot, was the third paying highest career field behind a doctor and a lawyer?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So you talk about back in the 70s, $200,000 average price.
Wow.
Now, because the corporations got involved, the unions got involved and stuff, the average pilot makes about $80,000. That's flying the big planes. Okay.
Hey, Kimberly.
Which goes to your point about having a standard and those coming up behind you. Because you got these young kids that'll just take anything, they've lowered the wage so much that being a pilot is nothing now. And she's trying to say,
exactly.
Hey, I'm trying to keep this here.
I mean, and not only that, it's terribly insulting. You should just take what you...
Well, it's insulting for an Academy. How many Academy Award winners do you know that they say, here, you get, we'll pay you what we'll pay somebody off the improv.
Right.
That's just starting their career.
And then, I think it's a shame for us as black people to assert that she needs to do the work.
She's done the work.
Can you say that for the people
She's
in the back?
done the work. Do you guys know how long it took Monique to be where she's at today?
She should have took the money. Now, this is the majority of what I've seen people say.
I remember her in the Chitlin clubs all in the South and back East. And, we're talking about these little lounges.
Take the
D.L. Hughley, all of them.
Take the scraps.
Yeah, they all
and
were starting.
Do the work.
Right.
Prove to these white people you worthy by eating off these bones they give it to you.
No, she's done the work. I'm talking about at least, I'm just going to say from when I used to see her at little clubs and little venues, 15 years worth.
Right.
Of struggling, and trying, just taking what you can take and just, getting your name out there, because the important thing is the name. But she's done the work.
Right. And Cindy says it's hard to prove discrimination. It is. I'm hoping she has a smoking gun. And Perez, no, I wasn't saying you're Sydney. I was saying hi to Sydney because it's comment above yours. Say hello, family.
Yeah.
Discrimination is hard to prove. You do need what they call a smoking gun. But I believe that Monique will be, this is just me. I'm hoping Monique will be able to prove her case. Because I'm really rooting for Monique, and people say, well, you're rooting for her because you like her because she has a case.
Now, me and you both took law in college. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you got to go in there and just throw in your bluff and you hope for the settlement.
Right.
See, so that could be it, because you don't want the bad publicity.
True.
If I was Netflix, Netflix is already going through some problems
and Netflix is denying discrimination. Right. Of course, they brought up all the other people that
you want to settle this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, they say that they're all for inclusion and this, that, and the other. And I would say, based on the programming that we've seen, I would say that is true. But just because you're for inclusion doesn't also mean you can't be discriminatory as well. You can do both. Yes. Right? We've seen that happen plenty of times. And to your point, you brought up Byron Woods. And Kimberly says right, and Alex says Belle is bare in the house named Huggy because of your hat.
So the word on the street,
right? You do kind of look like Antonio Fargas. So yeah, we've seen that a lot of times though,
right?
Where companies will say, to me, for Netflix saying, well, we're all inclusive. It's like saying, well, we got black friends.
Yeah, we got 2 or 3 that are janitors.
Yeah, I got a black friend, so that can't be true. Mm-hmm. We kind of hear that comparison a lot. But to me, not maybe just on the strength, but just keeping in mind that the CEO was fired for throwing the N-word around a lot. Mm-hmm. And I guess the argument would be nobody should say it, but he definitely didn't have a pass to say it.
The funny thing is there's been a trend since Trump has gotten in office where white people are asking for ass whippings and they're getting it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, really, you're going to learn today.
These said white people have been listening to the stories of their great-grandparents. Well, back in the day, we whoop a nigga's ass, and he run home, and there'd be nothing he can do about it.
We ain't doing that nowadays. And I finally saw that Popeyes video where they slammed that white woman. Oh, my God. For her to even get up, I was shocked that she even was able to.
She was, a bit far. Bit far.
She learned that day.
Yeah. But see, because you know how I want to do, but I got to be correct.
Yeah, you
I got to be
you
correct. Yes, it was a bit far.
Yes.
But
you never know.
You listen. You ain't dealing. And I got into a heated discussion with somebody who thought I was insulting our ancestors, if you will. when I said I had a shirt that says "Dear Racism," not my ancestors signed these hands.
Right.
How dare you disrespect them?
Yeah,
I said,
you're promoting violence.
Nah. What I was saying was I'm not disrespecting the ancestors, saying they was punks, and for the times that they were in, they had to kind of tiptoe around the stuff. But in 2019, not so. Not so.
Yeah, we aren't taught to bow down. I mean, in general.
And Perez says the price she pays for winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
And she said that too, Perez. She pointed that out, and that since and a lot of people say that for whatever reason, are Oscar winners, that somehow is almost like a curse.
Well, for black folks, it seems like Louis Gossett won an Oscar, and then it didn't translate to multi-million dollars.
Right.
Jamie Foxx, now he really screwed himself in that one. He wanted to become a singer, and
well, no, actually, Jamie Foxx was a singer first because.
Well, yeah, but regardless if he was a singer first or not, he got an award in acting.
Well, yeah, because I actually, when I was, singing a little bit back in the day.
Go to YouTube. You can go to The Boy. Never mind. Go ahead.
Anyway, I saw Jamie Foxx at some showcase. He wasn't famous or anything. Hadn't done in living color.
Great voice.
He was just trying to get himself out there. He was at the showcase. He was playing and he was singing. I was like, gosh, this dude finna blow up. And a couple years later, I saw him on the living color, and the rest was history.
See, but that's what I'm saying. When you make it to the top of a certain area, I'm not saying you can't dibble and dab. I mean, Kevin Bacon, he's known as an actor, but him and his brother do music and stuff like that.
Right.
You got to make a choice because people want to know you as a certain thing. You know
I think that's kind of what Monique was saying. I'm a comedian at the end of the day. People like to call her an actress, but
Richard Pryor, he's a comedian, but he can act.
Right. I agree with you, Perez. The Oscar thing. You know what I think it is? This is just my opinion, and I'm gonna try to find the best way to say this because I'm on all these media platforms. It's some N-word stuff, if you will.
Yeah.
That's what it is. She wouldn't tap dance for free, and anybody who's knowing anything about Lee Daniels, you saw Damon Dash run up on him, talking about where my money,
right.
So he's a little bit of a shady dude, if you will. I forgot what I was saying.
Uh-oh, she's having a senior moment.
I am having a senior moment.
Damon Dash.
Oh, so it literally just went out of my head. So what I was saying was, I forgot again.
Oh my God. Well,
wait.
The rappers get no, baby.
Okay. So it wasn't necessarily the Oscar.
Right.
It was the fact that these people were mad that she wasn't playing ball with them.
Right.
She wasn't doing what they wanted her to do. So, because remember, one thing she said too, at the time, Lee Daniels, Oprah wasn't returning his calls. And he was lamenting to her, Oprah won't return my calls, and this, that, and the other, and need you to do me a favor. And that's how she ended up doing the movie. And so then when Oprah comes on and gets on board, then they collude, because that's what it was, I believe, to label her as difficult, and she hasn't been able to work since. Now, also what got Monique more of the spotlight is she was doing a comedy set somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in Hollywood it was, and she basically told Lee Daniels and Oprah and Tyler Perry to suck her imaginary male body part.
Disgusting male body part.
She told them to do that. And so that's kind of where all hell broke loose, if you will. People, drew opinions about Monique, saying she's difficult and she's making life hard for herself, and why don't she shut up? I still see people say that she just needs to sit down and shut up.
Wait a minute. Why is it that when the white guy or the other guy does it, he's standing up for his rights and getting what he earned and worked for, and then when she does it, it's a problem?
She needs to shut up and sit down and shut up.
And take the scraps that are given to her.
Yeah, I've seen our people say, like, wow, really? I mean, because I'm one of those people who like to think logical. A lot of people, say, oh, you got to think with facts and not emotions. No, you just don't like the facts I'm presenting.
Right.
But there's a lot of people who like to dog Monique simply because white people or whoever, somebody told you to do it. Oh, she's difficult. I heard she this, that, and she's explained everything with receipts.
Right.
Her position is so why are we still labeling this woman?
If you were in her position and you see somebody, okay, let's talk about regular jobs.
Yeah, most people can't go to Taco Bell and get less cheese than you think you deserve. I
can't even get a straw or napkin in the goddamn to-go.
But if you don't get it, you ain't gonna just leave. You ain't gonna say, well, let me just wipe my mouth off with my shirt. I'm gonna settle for less. No, you're gonna say I paid for a straw and some napkins.
Right, but how many of us at work, you get a promotion, and the guy that promoted out of the job that you get promoted to, they were making, let's say, $100,000. Now they promote out or they retire. Now the position's open, right? You're making 40, but now they want you to take that second position, but they want you to take it for 44,000.
Right, exactly.
It was $100,000 position.
Shut up and settle.
44.
Shut up.
To do all the...
Just take it. Listen, take it. Prove to them that you're worth the, $56,000 more.
But I was doing his job.
Shut up. Prove your worth.
Everybody, there's a song out there. I want you guys to listen to it. It's called No Vaseline.
Right.
Okay? It's by Ice Cube, and it's on the Death Certificate album.
Right. You got to prove that you earned it and that, to show them, take the money
I've been with the company for 15 years.
No matter.
Gotcha.
So anyway.
But that was a good point.
Perez, you said there it is. Yes, tap dancing. I'm getting old. I was having a senior moment. I'm only 48, right? And then Demetrius says, fetch and step. Yes, step and fetch it. That's what Lee Daniels is, for lack of better words. Hey, Dee Dee, what's happening? Let's see, what's happening, Gina? And so, I hope that Monique wins because one, I'm a fan, and two, I really do think $500,000 is that's like eating some chicken, which I don't do. Eat some chicken. Eating off the what part you want to say here. Here, there you go. That's for you.
Look. My mom, me, my brother, we would get a piece of chicken and eat everything off the bone. And sometimes even crack the bone.
Right, the cartilage and everything.
Yeah, you get the gristle and stuff in the middle, and throw it to the dog. The dog would look like, what's this?
You ain't left me
nothing.
I don't want your funky bone. But to me, that's the equivalent of people telling Monique just to take it. Here's this chicken bone that I ate on that I didn't eat. There's a little bit left on it. You get some, but not as much as I got. You know what I mean? And Perez said Steve Harvey didn't help with his bullshit. Yeah, but you see what happened with Steve Harvey, kinda.
Wow, he just stepped in the wrong thing, and the brother had to move to South Africa to open up some shows to get some work.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing a step and fetch it, that's why I tell people you should really study the story of Step and Fetch It. His name was something Jefferson Abraham Lincoln. His mom, for whatever reason, named him after all of these presidents. But anyway, you can look him up on Step and Fetch It and see what happened to him for doing the same type of things that Steve Harvey was doing, and came back and it got to him in the end.
Yeah, it's funny. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, you had mentioned Step and Fetch It in a show, and I researched him on YouTube, and one of his last movies was a 1973 exploitation movie. You can find it on YouTube, and he's like shining shoes, and the guy gives him $100. And he's like, I can't do that with this.
Still doing the same thing that he was doing in the early 30s,
But he was broke in this, he was broke at the time, so they gave him this little spot in the movie to do some money.
For you guys who were interested, Step and Fetch It is his stage name. He was the first black millionaire in the United States. Actor.
Yes.
Actor. First black millionaire actor in the United States in the 30s. So that goes to show you how much money this man, his moniker, if you will. So Step and Fetch It, but the other part to it was the laziest man in the world.
And isn't it funny how he made $1 million back then, and that's a lot of money.
And it was more than that.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, and he died penniless. Now, my point by saying that is, how many of us are taking all the little money that we do have, which is significant if you do the right thing with it, but we're buying all the name brand, this and that, and then we wonder why we don't have any wealth.
Well, I think, like with Step and Fetch It's case, I think he thought the money train was always going to be there. The gravy train, if you will, was always going to be there. It dried up because he he was being paid that kind of money for white people's pleasure to enforce the ignorant stereotypes about black people. They went to the movies and hardy hard and chuckled and laughed.
Well, what's the difference between him and Candace Owens?
Nothing.
Exactly.
But
white people will pay anybody to reinforce their stereotypes.
They got tired of it. I'm sure they hired somebody else who came along and paid them the money to do it. But at that time, he had alienated black people so much that black people washed their hands of him, and he died, like I said, broke and alone and an alcoholic.
Yeah, and drug is former drug user.
And Cindy says, I don't dislike her I don't dislike her or like her. The interview tour she did, I was screaming therapy session is needed. Okay, can I ask you this, Cindy? Why does Monique need therapy? I'm just asking. I'm asking, why does Monique need therapy?
Why does anybody?
Hey, Johnny.
Why does anybody need therapy who just wants their fair share of what everybody else is getting?
Yeah, why is she? Because when I hear that she needs therapy, I either hear that maybe she's crazy or she has some issues of letting go. So please tell me, Sydney, why you think Monique needs therapy? And Dee Dee says it's called being a puppet for a little coin. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, how many Academy Award winners? That's almost like being an Academy Award winner. You just won it, and they offer you a role in a C horror movie. And you're just supposed to just take it.
Spit on your grave, part 99.
Yeah, what? So she's just supposed to take the part and be quiet and just go through the steps. I'm an Academy Award-winning actress, comedian.
So Sydney, and hello to everybody. It says Sydney says, who is her dream team? So you mean her lawyers? I'm not really for sure. I saw it in an article, but I've never heard of them. But it sounds like they are pretty good at what they do.
Yeah, I think she got the same people as Shira Wright.
No, she don't need them. She don't need them.
Okay? Made her please.
No, she don't need them. I'm not quite sure who her dream team is per se. But I'm assuming that is somebody who's worth their weight to take on a giant like Netflix. She didn't go to like was it Richard Pryor? What was it? Uptown Saturday Night?
Right.
Yeah, she didn't go to his
Private Idea. They go out the window. You don't even know who we're asking for. I bet you it's something important.
Right, yeah. She didn't go to the one that was on Uptown Saturday Night, Richard Pryor's character, that law office. Nah, I don't think she did.
Yeah, the private eye.
Right. Al says, Donovan, do you remember comedian Wildman Steve? He was a good friend to Rudy Ray Moore. All he did was stand-up comedy and make blue records.
I could probably know if I saw him. I can't. It doesn't ring a bell right now, but
right. So I'm curious. Cindy, why does she need therapy? I don't think Monique is crazy. And see, that's the thing. Because, remember Dick Gregory, R.I.P. to the great ancestor. People used to think he was crazy. People used to think Dick Gregory was crazy.
Yeah.
Like nutty. For a lot of stuff that he said. But it's like, I think in the city, I'm not saying this about you, but I'm just saying in general, for people to think somebody like Monique is crazy for saying and doing what she's doing, I think we're used to kind of like settling and not rocking the boat because we don't want to be seen as difficult. I think the difficult label is a label that's put on, like some people would say Colin Kaepernick is difficult.
Right.
But I think we get that label when we rock the boat or we want to get outside of the box that everybody else is in. Everybody in the box will try to say, well, you're difficult, you're crazy, because how dare you want to do something different than we would do. And let's see, and Michi, you say they just need to come correct with the money. I believe when the movie Precious blew up, Lee Daniels should have given her more money, fair is fair. Yeah, but see, it don't sound like Lee Daniels is in the habit of really paying what he owes.
No, I think Lee Daniels is in the thing of pulling on our heartstrings, and just doing what he's got to do to manipulate the situation and then go the cheap route. It's kind of the same as when you have these friends that they got a man, but they want to borrow money from you.
He ain't talking about me.
Right, no, but you know what I mean? You got those friends that it's like you shouldn't even be asking for money.
Roaching 101.
Roaching 101.
Listen, Monique, I want you to do a whole movie for $50,000. Because see, I'm sure Monique was like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, because
you're the homie.
Yeah, you're the homie.
It probably ain't going to do that well.
Right.
And it did. To me, I thought it was the movie was very disturbing.
Right, because I guarantee you it was just a generic conscience. Yeah, I did it for $50,000, just write it up, no big deal. But if it was done I want the residual. I want the back because she could demand that now as an Academy Award-winning actress.
Well,
she could ask for part of the box office.
Hopefully, I don't know if she can now because of the way it was written up, but...
No, not now, but I'm talking about now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things...
She probably was thinking, I'll do it for a favor.
Yeah, it's a friend.
You know, it's probably not going to... Oprah snubbed him, okay.
But what kind of friend am I when the thing blows up and
Using her because... Now, but listen, that's why I said it was the N-word stuff. Because I'm really trying not to say that word here. I think once Lee Daniels got into the big leagues with Oprah and Tyler, he was like,
the table, right?
Mommy, kiss my ass, you know?
Yeah, I mean, okay, if the movie cost me $1 million to make, let's just say, because it was kind of budget. I mean, Mariah Carey was in the movie, you know what I mean? So you have some stars in there that probably took little enough. And
Mariah's worth like what, $600 million?
Yeah. You know, when all the boyfriends she'd be screwing and stuff like that.
Hey, you know what?
Billionaires. I ain't mad at her.
Get what you got to get and get on.
That's it, and get on. But you make it take $1 million to make it. $3 million in salary and production costs, whatever those. So you talk about $4 million. The movie grossed $50 million. I'm here for you for $50,000. Hey Monique, you know we did a great job. I know you're kind of busy, whatever. Look, let me give you an additional $1 million. Exactly.
And I'm gonna pay for you to promote the movie. Right. That's what a friend would have done. He wanted to do it for free.
No, we wrote you. That's what I'm saying. We wrote each other.
Is he the king of the roaches?
Yes.
And Dee Dee says, Monique is doing the most to stay relevant. I mean, nobody has seen her on screen since Precious.
Well, Monique
actually has been, she's been in a few movies since, she's been in quite a few movies since Precious.
Yeah, and you got to remember she has a young child at home. Well, not
she
young.
She has two young kids.
Yeah, not young.
Well, they're twins.
Yeah, they're in, grade school and stuff, so she's probably doing the mom thing. And then, when you've been blackballed in Hollywood, it's hard to get work when nobody wants to touch you. You know?
Well, yeah, when they put a label on it. But, I see, this is the thing. I don't think Monique was ever irrelevant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't think she's ever, like, gone away type of thing. Now, is she Tiffany Haddish big now? No.
You know what Haddish ain't even big.
I mean, I'm just saying, but I'm trying to draw a comparison here. But I don't think Monique has ever been irrelevant. But see, now we're making her irrelevant, because she's asking for something.
But then you got these Tiffany Haddishes who will do anything. I mean, Tiffany Haddish isn't even funny. Number one, she has the one stick, whatever she does, and that's it.
Right.
I mean, and so they put her in, what's that, Kids Say the Darndest thing? That thing lasted, 2 weekends, and it was gone.
I couldn't see, I didn't understand that simply because it's like, her of all people with some kids, but then who am I, you know what I mean?
But that show lasted 2 weekends and it was gone.
I was trying to find a movie list, but I can't find it now because I'm trying to do 100 things. But anyway, so I don't think Monique was ever irrelevant. Now
it has shown her who her friends are in Hollywood.
You ain't lying.
It exposed a lot of
you ain't lying. Because a lot of her so-called friends and comedians even went after. One thing I don't necessarily like Kevin Hart as an actor or comedian, but one thing I would give him as big ups is he was like, y'all not gonna have me take the bait because Monique and him both said when I was nobody, Monique went to bat for me.
Yes.
It's because of Monique mostly, I guess,
getting some of this
that I'm even here. So he was like, when TMZ ran up on him and tried to have him run her low, he was like, that's my friend. Mm-hmm. Okay, at the end of the day, I wish her well, but that is my friend. So you're right about that. It did expose who her friends really were. And then Perez says, nobody likes resistance. Those Jews want it easy. And that's really what it is. They wanted her to just take the money. Yep. Take it and go. We're going to offer you a special. Be thankful. And now we are mad. Like I said, we should, I think we should get behind Monique and stop trying to label her as difficult and she's whiny, she's crazy.
To me, I'm surprised that a lot of the black women in Hollywood have not lined up for her because like Muhammad Ali and like Colin Kaepernick, she is taking a stand to make sure that black women in Hollywood get paid a fair and decent wage that they deserve.
I think a lot of the black women in Hollywood won't go to bat for her because they too realize how hard it is to even get a job.
Well, the casting couch, you know how it is.
Right, they don't want to do the casting couch no more.
Right, so, if you don't get behind this woman, you're going to be doing a lot of casting couch.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And me too, right. For those of you who don't know who the casting couch is, that's when you do a little
dropping
favors.
The draws. Yeah,
back in the day, they'd have to do little favors to be the mammy, or the nanny, Well,
a little small little part
right.
they give you in the movie.
Yes, sir.
In the mainstream white movie.
Like, do you know what I had to do to just even say that role? Yes, sir. And Michi says, when you come correct, they don't like it. She doesn't throw the rock and hide her hands. She doesn't need therapy. I agree. I'm trying to figure out why she needs to go see a therapist.
You know, and the thing is, too, her husband did a lot of the negotiations, so it isn't really like Monique is in there running them down. Her manager, who gets paid to do that, is doing the negotiation, and she has enough faith in her husband to let him handle those things.
Right. And Dee Dee says, I haven't seen them. I think talking about the movies. And hello, Pamela. And also, I gave this analogy to somebody earlier. I said Eli and Peyton Manning, who was their manager?
Their mother.
And their dad.
Their dad, yeah.
Nobody, you know, and I heard that he could be a doozy sometimes.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
including helping
Archie,
his son.
Yeah, Archie is serious.
Hide the fact that he sexually assaulted his his physical trainer. They hit and dogged this woman out, called her all kind of hoes for dating black dudes and all this other stuff. Ain't nobody raking him over the coals, but he manages his son's affairs, both of them.
Got his son. The Chargers had the #1 pick. Got manipulated to where he got picked by the New York Giants, and manipulated the whole system.
But on the flip side, you have somebody like LeVar Ball. All people did was talk about how bad he needed this and his. Now, is he over the top? Yeah, LeVar Ball is a little extra much on the too much side. I love it though, but you hear a lot of people, especially us, say, "Oh, well, he needs to be quiet. He needs to sit down, and he don't need to be doing this because he know it." But y'all don't say none of that about the other people who managing their kids.
Nope.
But this black man can't stand up and support and manage his kids. Monique's husband's a problem because he's managing her career.
Right.
He needs to
He's
shut
an
up.
outsider.
But then on one hand, it's like, and you hear a lot of dudes saying that too about her man. Here this woman is, she said that it took her a long time to learn her place in the relationship because she says, her words, not mine, that oftentimes in her relationship, she was the one with the biggest balls. Because she had the most money and ain't no gonna tell me what to do. So she says he taught her that you ain't gotta be so strong, baby. Let me be strong.
Right. Let me carry the load.
So the fact that they're doing it right, people have a problem with her. It's the strangest thing. And so Dee Dee says Tiffany Haddish emulates a typical ghetto black woman. That's why she's famous. Absolutely.
Exactly. Step and fetch it.
Absolutely.
That stereotype of the step and fetch it.
She plays ball, and so nobody really has a problem with Tiffany, right? Tiffany is not gonna stand up and
take whatever crumbs they give her.
Or but she's not gonna say, well, Monique is right. In fact, she says something bad about Monique. I think she says something about her husband too.
And then carping for white men.
Right. And then, hey, Ronnie says the queen doesn't need any type of therapy. She would not be where she is today just because they throw some old shit. Let the queen keep rising. Let's not degrade our people. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to drag that lady down because she fighting for what's hers. We all imagine if we all fought for what's ours. We'd all be better off.
True.
And Al says Samore is the funniest female comedian.
Oh, no, she's not funny, dog. She's fine. That woman is fine.
Yeah. Al happens to have a thing for Samore as well. I like Samore.
Look, I'll get Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can have the rest.
I like Samore. I think she's funny. Is she the funniest? I don't know. I haven't really thought that much into it. I don't know. And then Ronald says, speaking truth. And then Sydney says, I would never tell someone to settle. It says, I am ignoring you. I am reading more into the lawsuit. I think it said, I'm not ignoring. I think that's what you meant to say. I'm reading more into the lawsuit. She has done 5 movies after Precious, right? So she didn't just do Precious and go away.
Right. Well, you know how they do. They like in a year they might do 3 or 4 or 5 movies, and it doesn't get released for a year.
I mean,
or 2.
how many of us seen Welcome Back? Was it Welcome Back, Roscoe Jenkins?
Yeah, right. She was in that. Right.
That was funny. I don't care what nobody say. That movie was funny. Was she in This Christmas or what?
Yeah. She had a small part in it. Yep.
Funny to me. And some other stuff I've seen that was pretty funny. And Dee Dee says Tiffany Haddish ain't nowhere near funny. She plays a ghetto black woman in the movie. I've never thought, like when I saw her in Girls Trip. I was like,
God, that was. We gonna show you. Gonna get 2 dicks up in you today. And of course, it took her to do the grapefruit challenge. It's just like, really? She needs to get a special award for what? Being the biggest hoe, in a movie? You get a special award for that?
I want you to watch this back and see your face when you say you're going to get 2 dicks up in you.
I'm just saying. I was appalled at that. I was just like, remember we went to
And
go
then
see?
they was peeing all over
Yeah.
people in Vegas. And it's like,
You know, me and Dee go see it because we reviewed the movie.
that's
and,
the only reason why I saw it.
Yeah,
the only reason why I watched the movie.
And I'm sitting there like, this is...
And these were like very esteemed women.
Yeah.
Doctors, writers, publicists.
Yeah.
And of course, Tiffany was the person that was late at work and cussed
Right.
out somebody and got fired and talking about I'll be back. And so yes, I agree with you, Dee Dee. And Ronald says, if you never let them know where you stand, they will use you. Yeah, I mean, at what point in time was she supposed to, like, how long was she supposed to just keep getting lowballed and blackballed and whiteballed in her words? How much was she? Oh, here, Monique, here's a $10 check.
Right.
We want 3 specials from you.
Yeah, and by the way, Harvey's waiting for you in the green room.
Right, you know. And Cindy says, Archie is not Eli's agent. Well, he's something.
No, he's not the agent, but he's the dad that had the final say to get them into the... Because, I mean, Archie's a legend.
Very instrumental in
he's a legend.
their lives.
He's a legend.
Very instrumental. And I don't even watch football, and I know that. Only reason why I know that is because I read all of the stuff that went on with Peyton when he sexually assaulted the lady, and ain't nobody mad about that.
Right.
He plays
football.
To be exact, this man, Peyton Manning, put his penis on top of his physical trainer's head as she was checking his knee or his leg or something.
That's it.
And they labeled that woman as a demon, got her fired, and a whole host of things.
And then what about Ben Roethlisberger? He was charged with a sexual assault that they buried. Basically, it was basically a rape. That's what they said it was.
Right. So, you know, the point that I'm making is, like, we hear those things about those type of people, and it just goes, you did okay. But Monique, she needs to sit down.
And it's mostly our people.
Yes, who does she think she is? She know she ain't funny. She ain't this, and her husband, and all this. Damn.
That woman can act. If you saw Precious, you can't say that woman ain't got talent.
You ain't lying.
So...
You ain't lying.
Because how many people would have taken that role knowing you ain't got no makeup?
And Mariah too.
Right.
You know, that's a diva for real. And Al said Cheryl Underwood said on the talk that all the women on the Queens of Comedy talk bad about her, and Monique's niece was the only one that spoke up for her. And you know what? And Monique actually talks about that, and she also took Cheryl Underwood to task for talking bad about her. On one of those shows, and Kim Whitley, like you said, exposed who her friends were. And she told the story about Kim Whitley, and she says, you know, when I was doing the whole Oscar thing, and everybody was interviewing me, she says,
everybody was.
I think it was Vogue or somebody came to interview her, and she would go on morning walks with Kim Whitley every morning, and Kim Whitley happened to be there. And so Vogue or whoever it was like, okay, we want to interview you. And she says, that's nice. You're going to have to interview me with my friend because this is what we do. So she says, I went to bat for her. Like on plenty of occasions, she said she was on the reel is what it was. I guess when she was co-hosting, she was trying to get the spot as the co-host because that's when Tamar had left. She said, so I get it. You know, she wanted to throw me under the bus. She talking about Oprah was her queen and Monique need to shut up and all. She was like, wow, really? Damn, I thought we was friends.
Like I said, you know who your friends are when you're out there and about. Like I said, you should see some of the things I say about you when you're not.
A lot of them will probably be true, though. And Cindy says, I heard one interview on the Breakfast Club. I thought it was a little over the top. Nah, see, this is why I got to hold the mic.
Hold the mic.
I got to hold the mic, y'all.
Somebody break it down.
I saw that interview. There you go. I saw it a few times. And Monique went on there to set the record straight because she was letting Charlamagne, and you know, Charlamagne can be a little bit on the messy side, a lot,
yeah.
She's setting the record straight. Don't be trying to be up on here dogging me out and lying on me and saying bad things about me that's not true. She did what she's supposed to do. Put some respect on my name. Don't be out here lying on me. She did him right.
Yeah, especially when you don't know me.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, she said that he sold her out or... I can't remember exactly what it was, but he didn't do her any justice. He invited her up there to clear her name, and she basically called him somebody from 12 Years a Slave, and it was pretty iconic. The whole interview to me was iconic. I was like, damn, I need to take notes. That's how I need to eat Donovan's lunch next time.
Many have tried, many have come, and many have failed.
And Al says, Marsha Whitfield set the standard for black comedians. She ain't dead. Did
No,
she die
Marsha
today?
Whitfield, is she dead?
Nah, I follow her on Twitter.
Yeah, Marsha Whitfield.
Unless that's her ghost tweeting.
Yeah,
I don't think Marsha Whitfield is dead. Nah. Hey, Charlie says, good evening, Dee and Donovan and group. I miss you all. I'm at the grocery store at the moment. Okay, well.
Charles, you never miss us because we are on all these platforms.
We'll always be around.
Yes, you can go to Demetria K on YouTube and the show will be right there, ready to go.
And Dee Dee says, Dave Chappelle said it best. There is something sick going on in Hollywood. Yes, he said that years ago when they tried to label him.
Right.
Remember they tried to label Dave Chappelle as difficult and he's crazy and all of that. And Ron says,
Real quick, remember you, the other day you told me about that guy Jackson that wore a dress and they were like, we told you not to wear that dress.
Yeah, the one with Martin Lawrence. I can't think of his name. Somebody Jackson. And his career hasn't been the same since. And Ron says, I salute you, King and Queen and King. He said it right through the first Queen and King. I'm just playing. Queen and King.
Yeah, we have a strong
Keep
Queen.
installing knowledge to the people sounding off. Absolutely. You know what? I said this the other day. Sometimes when I think about just changing courses, or like, let me just go coon for some checks or something.
Which we can do.
Somebody always reminds me or gives me a confirmation. Like,
Thank you, Al. Thank you, Al, executive producer.
But there's a lot of other people who don't even know they're doing it or say things just like what Ronald said. And I'm like, okay, you know what?
One more day.
Right. Right.
One more day.
Right. Al says, Moms Mabley and Shirley Hemphill were also queens of comedy. Yes, but
early,
they both R.I.P. They gone.
Yeah, they gone.
And that they work. Monique is a queen of comedy too.
Yeah, I love Shirley Hempfield when she was on Good Times, and she was robbing the bank and taking Florida down there.
Yeah.
You write letters. She was good. Yeah, she was good.
And Pamela says, I saw Precious and the Mariah Carey movie Glitter. I like Glitter, by the way. I don't care what nobody says.
Well, Glitter was a good movie in that it was a typical story of rags to riches.
But see, I'm glad you brought that up, Pamela, because being Tommy Mottola and the powers that be, they did the same thing to her in the movie Tank because they put a hit out on her. They did the same thing to Mariah that they did to Dave Chappelle. She wouldn't play ball anymore, and they tried to
she was
destroy
leaving Tommy
her
at the time.
They tried to destroy her.
She said that Tommy's wing was, I would assume. But sometimes women don't care about as long as they got the money.
They tried to destroy her too.
Yeah.
And Al says, I don't think Monique is funny, but say Netflix offer the money, she do the special. Will she stop whining if she does the special? Well, again, I think you're looking at it wrong, my brother. I don't think it's that she's whining. I think she's asking for what's rightfully hers.
Right.
That's like me saying, Donovan, I know you fly airplanes and everything, and you got a plane. Brother, why don't you go on and fly me to New York for free? Okay, wait. I'm going to give you $5 on the tank.
That wouldn't even get you.
Quit whining.
Good point.
Gas up the plane.
Right.
I'm going to give you $5. What you complaining for?
Good point. But
it's better than nothing.
Right. Yeah, but at the end of the day, everybody's got to remember, comedy, acting, whatever, it's a business. So regardless if that comedy special that she does is successful or if it bombs, she wants to make sure her family is fed at the end of the day.
Like, who should work for free?
So if they give her $50 million and the thing is successful, great, everybody's happy. They give her $50 million and it didn't do so well. Well, the risk is on the owner.
Right. And Cindy says, did anyone see Blackbird? I have not seen it. I keep saying it's a movie. I think it was, I don't know where it debuted at. I think it was on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, at one point in time. I haven't seen it yet. Admittedly, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah,
and Pamela says no. And then Sydney says Brandon Jackson. That was the actor.
Yeah. He put on a dress, destroyed it.
And then you said she was married to Tommy. Yeah, Tommy Mottola. Yeah, they tried to destroy Mariah Carey. So so if we believe it for Dave Chappelle and Mariah and a whole host of other people, why don't we believe it for Monique too?
Exactly.
Why don't we believe that is like the same thing applies to her?
Eartha Kitt.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s.
Yep. Sure did.
She said something against Nixon and they just
destroyed
her. Yeah.
She was labeled. So I mean,
Marcus.
When I hear people say that about Monique, it almost goes in lockstep with what Steve says. Just shut up and take the money, gal.
Nah, integrity.
Ain't no integrity.
Integrity.
You need to feed your family, okay?
Sometimes all money ain't good money.
Gas up the plane.
All money ain't good money.
Let's see, make sure I didn't miss any comments.
We're doing really good on that since we messed up the last
time.
Oh,
man.
We are 30 minutes behind.
Man, we messed up bad that day. And Didi says, y'all ain't going to leave that tarmac with $5.
Hello.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I just got $5 on it. I want him to put the rest of the bill. He got it. You rich, ain't you? $5 is a blessing. You only get you a Popeye sandwich before we gas up and leave.
I can't. $5 don't even get you a Popeye sandwich.
You're ungrateful. You're just ungrateful. I got something on your sandwich then.
That might get me a soda.
I'm just saying. And Daryl, hey Daryl, he says, I don't agree. Oops. He says, I don't agree. The money is based on its success, being successful. Marketing shows it won't do well. So you're talking about marketing shows Monique won't do well. Do tell. And he says debuted on Netflix. So the Blackbird did a debut on Netflix. Because I saw it somewhere, but I don't remember where. So it might have been Netflix that I saw it on. And also to you, Daryl, congratulations to your son. His son is actually big time in the NFL.
Oh, right on. Right on. Dallas Cowboy, right?
Minnesota Vikings, I believe it is. So congratulations to your son.
No, he made the NFL. I mean, now that's an accomplishment in itself because how many people can say that they made it to the pro level?
Right.
So, man,
and doing well.
Awesome. Yeah.
And Michi says she's trying to secure her bag. What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Yep. And speaking of trying to secure the bag, I think Michi started another career.
Yeah, I saw that too. So,
awesome.
Moving on up.
Like I said, don't forget your friends.
We should tell you that.
Well, I don't even know y'all.
Right. That's how you see how they get a little money and they don't know us no more. Pass us on the street.
Where the white women at?
While holding the Popeye's chicken sandwich. I didn't get one for you. Let's see. And Cindy says, so I read the case, going to be hard.
It's going to be hard, yeah.
Most discrimination, as you say, cases are hard. As like with Byron Allen, people say that case is hard.
No, it's going to be hard too because you're dealing with the Trump Justice Administration. So it's definitely going to be hard to get that.
And you know, when you're dealing with more money than you got, it's kind of hard. They just need somebody to hear the case and say, well, you know.
In most cases.
You do have a point.
Yeah, in most cases that involve black people.
You said she got $1 on it.
Most cases that involve just black people in general, I mean, we lose. Most young black guys I see going into family court, they ain't got no lawyer. The women are represented by the state, and that's a different issue. I think that if they ain't got representation, it isn't fair because you got unlimited resources over here. So, yeah, it's an uphill battle, but that's the burden we have to
my mama used to always say, nothing beats a fail but a try. And I'm not mad at Monique or Byron Allen for that matter, because their cases are similar in a way. I'm not mad at them for trying. There's nothing like, and I always say this to myself and to other people, the one thing I'm never going to do is when I'm 115, because that's about the age I'm going to tap out, I think. Not die, but just tap out. I never want to sit with regret and say, what if?
Yeah, what if? Yeah, you only got one life. So.
What would have happened if I would have just did it?
Right.
Just took a risk or fought a little hard. I never.
What was I saving it for?
No, I ain't gonna never say that.
What was I saving?
I ain't never gonna say that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Al says glitter, who I love, because Al likes.
He likes glitter. He likes Mariah Carey.
But what do you think about the movie Save the Last Dance, where the brother fell in love with the white girl? But why did MTV have him liking? But why didn't MTV have him liking the sister? See there, you rubbing off on me. I'm ranting about the Black Power thing.
See? You got the wrong one, Al. I told you.
I don't think I saw Save the Last Dance.
That's with Julia Stiles. And the brother from the barbershop, he was the lawyer going to school.
After a while, all those movies look the same.
They all look alike, but people
I might have seen it. I don't know. And then Dee Dee says, whatever, Donovan. When he get on the, when he leave that ass for a white girl, laugh a lot, because he's talking about you going to have you a white girl. You don't know us no more eating your Popeye's chicken sandwich. I guarantee she won't make you no Popeye's chicken sandwich. She won't make you no chicken with no seasoning.
That's okay, but why should I be happy?
Now, because what you're going to do is go creep to the sister side of town.
I'm going to have my side chick.
You know Betty don't own no Lowry's.
Right, and look, Betty ain't got no bump.
Right. But you happy, though. You happy.
Because she don't give me no grief. Bitch, I'm going to the moon. Okay, honey. Black woman, you talk about I'm going to the club. The black woman talk about she getting dressed, too.
Where we going?
Right, she going to the club with me.
What wig should I put on? The good wig or the good wig?
No!
And Cindy says, Donovan, so I need a pilot. I'm telling you, we got $5 on it.
$5 on it.
$5 on it. How much it cost to gas up a plane if I wanted you to fly me to New York?
Okay, there's a lot of variables. What kind of plane are we flying? Are we flying in a Learjet?
I don't want to be.
Or do you want to be in a Cessna?
I don't want to hear the birds and shit whizzing by as we flying. I want to be like.
Okay, so let's go Learjet.
Okay.
Okay, just to rent the plane without fuel.
Okay.
You're talking at least $3,600
but
an hour.
You got the plane. I just want you to fly me from California to New York.
The fuel that plane, looking at about maybe about $600.
Man, there you go. You better take this $5 and be happy.
600 something.
I was thinking it was more than that. You got it.
Al, you working that overtime, right?
Cindy says, I just hope they pit us against each other, which seems to be Netflix strategy. So I think you're saying they don't pit us against each other. I don't know if that's necessarily their strategy. I just think we sometimes need to just ride for our people. I don't think Monique is asking anything unrealistic. I think we need to get out of being judgmental. Because a lot of times,
if she gets that money, everybody behind her is going to get that kind of money.
Right, and a lot of times, too, we just as humans, I don't want to say black people, but just as humans, we like to put our limitations on other people.
Yes.
So when I say that is, well, because I don't think I can do it, you can't do it either. A lot of times we raise our kids like that. You can't and you should not. Ain't nobody been able to do that.
I always tell my kids, here's the baton, take it farther than I did.
So we place our limitations on everybody else, and so I think a lot of times we're just my opinion, placing our limitations on Monique. Oh, well, you just need to settle because maybe that's what we would do. But just because that's what we would do don't mean that's what everybody should do.
Right.
Like I would eat.
Everybody's different.
Barbecue chickpea sandwich. You should eat one too.
No, I'm not into
that. No, I'm not into that.
I'm not into that. No.
But it's good for you. You should eat it.
That's okay. But remember that that vegan beef jerky? You guys need to try that. That was some good stuff.
I like vegan beef jerky.
Yeah, that was really good. Vegan beef jerky.
And Pamela Taylor was happy. Says that's why I watch Korean and Chinese dramas. Everything American looked the same. Right. I was like, I could have seen it. I don't know. Right. And Pamela's replying to Al. I saw the movie. It was okay. So maybe that's why I don't remember. It was just okay. And Dee Dee says, go ahead, Donovan. Eat your tasteless chicken and leave.
Winco has the best chicken.
Well, therefore, we know you ain't going over the other side of town. Right. Donovan don't want no seasonless chicken. Right.
Believe it or not, for those that don't know, I have never, ever dated a white one. In my, now don't get it twisted.
Okay, now see that. Okay, no, disclaimer, y'all.
No, here's a disclaimer. I never said I wouldn't. I have just never done it. So the door's open.
Well, okay, you're 152 years old. What has stopped you from doing it this far?
Seeing what your brother went through, what my brother went through, I'm very traumatized. So.
Therefore, you ain't going to do it no time soon.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. You just keep looking for that good sister.
Yes,
okay?
exactly.
You keep looking for that good sister.
I've been traumatized.
There. Right. Al says, do y'all remember the old Filmation producer, black superhero, old school cartoon, Super Sketch and Micro Woman?
Yeah!
Stretch and
Super Stretch and Micro Woman, yep. Wait, what was that one? It was the Saturday morning cartoon. Was that Rickety Rocket? Was it Rickety Rocket with all the black?
It's all the same to me at this point. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying 20 minutes ago. Okay, you want me to remember something back from 1975?
Yeah, Rickety Rocket. But the thing is, it was so stereotypical. You had the black girl with the afro puffs, and she's talking loud. And
speaking of which, I saw Netflix had to put out a disclaimer saying, because I'm not Netflix, Disney, they have the new streaming service that you might see some images that were kind of on a racist side, you know, because back then they had, you know,
back in the day,
cartoons, Conan, and all kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so Cindy says, I read Netflix response. Their strategy sounds like they are going to use other people negotiation and contacts against her. But see,
contracts.
the smoking the smoking gun, I think that Monique has, is she's saying there was never any negotiation offered to her.
Right.
So if she was robbed of the negotiation process, there she has a case. There denotes the difference between those people that they mentioned and her case. Sounds like a case that she has a case. I'm not saying that she could win, but on that alone, it sounds like she has a case. There's the difference. Because when you're doing a comparison and saying that you're into law, when you have a comparison, the things have to be the same. They have to match.
Right.
If they don't match, and it sounds like it doesn't from what Monique is saying, she was robbed of the negotiation process, then the cases, the situations aren't the same. The offers aren't the same. Am I right? Okay. And so, let's see. And Dee Dee says, we on Winco again. Yes, I've never tasted the chicken, but it sounds like the chicken is good.
It's fabulous.
Hey, Leroy. And that's Dee Dee's husband. How are you doing?
Hey, all right.
Cindy says, Donovan about to be small like Kerry Washington in months. Oh, because you ain't going to be able to eat? Because you're not going to like Becky's cooking?
Oh, yeah. No. Becky's.
You ain't going to want that.
Every time, the funny thing is, every time I would go to Europe, for some reason, when I used to fly in the military, I would make sure I'd have some lemon pepper in my flight bag. And some salt, and salt and pepper, because the food
hot
was,
sauce in your bag.
No, I didn't have no hot sauce, but because the food was, it literally is. They don't believe in seasoning their food. It's just the weirdest thing there.
They have a different palate than we do.
Yeah.
Cindy says, I read that. Yeah. Michi says, thanks, I stepped out on faith, a good worker, but the statistics in money wasn't adding up, just settling, but the check wasn't getting bigger. The duties adding up, so always. I had to shake the spot.
Yep.
I had to shake the spot. I was worth more money, so I left. I love the new spot, was working myself into the ground at the previous job, so this is a good transition. Yeah, another example of I ain't gonna settle. I'm not gonna have you do more than you gonna pay me for.
Right, exactly. And and the bad thing about us as Black people, we are so loyal when we've been with the company for so many years, and we think, okay, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna stick it, and they're gonna take care. They're gonna take care.
I
bounce. Yeah, Miss Reliable.
I'm out of here.
I'll be there at 12. I'll be there at 3.
No, I'm talking about,
I know what you're saying.
Well, that too.
Gig.
But again, if you ain't talking to stuff, like the minute you tell me what I can't do, listen, I got to go.
Yeah.
Which is why I can't punch a clown.
Yeah, which is why a lot of people keep asking me, why am I not flying for the airlines? For all that they want me to do and all I have to do to maintain my license and the training and stuff, you're going to pay me top $80,000? Don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
And Al says, now is the time of the show. We got to get to your part, Donovan.
Yes.
Cut me off. As he says, now is the time of the show. Brother Walter's wisdom to say something positive your daddy used to say or will say. Well, my dad, oh my God. My dad, he might be watching because my dad has a Facebook.
Does he?
Yes, and sometimes he calls me. He gives me correction.
Okay.
Yes. So something positive or wise that my dad would say.
Don't throw it if you can't smoke it. Keep your legs closed.
No. Well, no. I think of something, but go ahead and
don't bring nobody in this house if you ain't serious.
Yeah. He says, okay.
Get your arms around for my baby.
Right. My dad says, don't be no plaything, be the main thing.
Main thing. Yeah.
There you go. That's one of them.
A lot of wisdom.
Yes.
Wait. The biggest thing he ever said. You can't have this one.
Yeah, you talking about Amanda, but you said shit.
Yeah.
I ain't fresh. So anyway, go ahead, brother. Take it away.
All right. Look, we're going to be transitioning real quick. How many of you guys have been watching the impeachment inquiry? And a lot of people are getting confused that this is an inquiry. They haven't drafted the articles of impeachment yet. They haven't charged any crimes. Now, a lot of my Republican buddies out there are saying, oh my God, what a travesty. Trump is just being denied his rights. You know, he's not even allowed to call witnesses, not allowed to do this, and he's not allowed to do that. Number one, they've asked for his witnesses, and he keeps blocking them by executive order by not letting them testify. So if he wants his witnesses to come and speak, they're more than willing to do that. But anyway, let me digress. Today, Roger Stone, an advisor and a longtime friend of President Trump, was found guilty on all counts. So what does that mean? That means that the Trump campaign team was working with WikiLeaks, which is a outlet of the Russian government, to subvert the elections. Now, I'm not a Hillary supporter, nothing like that. She got beat in the electoral college. I don't see why the man does it. But here's the thing. Several of President Trump's top advisors have either pled guilty or in jail or about to go to jail. And there's one thing Mama used to say.
Mama used to say,
take your time, young man. Anyway, that guy was skinny like me, too.
Right,
so okay. You're young, so young. Anyway. But Mama used to say,
okay,
birds of a feather flock together. And it's just amazing to me at how so many of my white, Caucasian, and wannabe Hispanic white friends are not seeing the writing on the wall. I'm just using basic logic. Either this man surrounds himself with criminals and he's a criminal himself, because there hasn't been one person in that administration that has stood up for the rule of law. So let me hear what you guys have to say about that. And Dee, what is your thing on that? Roger Stone, all counts.
I just remember back in the day when they first leveled the charges against him, he came out the courtroom.
Yeah,
Had the little crop top. He had the crop top on.
Yeah, got his lady by him, doing the Nixon
And
thing.
then when he came up out of the courtroom today, he was, what do they say, walking slow and singing low. He was,
and usually
head was bowed.
And isn't that funny when these public officials, they get convicted, all of a sudden they have health problems? Have you guys noticed that?
What is he, 75 or something like that? And this dude is looking at 50 years. Right. And so to your point about Trump, I mean, it's like, so it was 7 people so far have gone down for the count.
Well, we're just talking about the people that have gone down for the count. What about the people who have left in disgrace?
Well, yeah, but specifically the people down for the count that's doing a stint in prison. And these were pretty decorated people.
Right.
Who, I guess, because you hear a lot of them say, well, we were friends. I think Giuliani is next.
No, wait. Did you see yesterday where Trump was? The ambassador, the guy, Sondland?
Yeah.
Trump's like, I don't even know the man. I don't know anything about the guy. And then when he won an election or something, you talk about, oh, my good friend Mr. Sunderland over there. Well, thank you very much, for...
Right.
It's like, it's like, Trump, don't you know that there's a thing called the internet? We could look up everything that you've said in the past moving forward.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think birds of a feather flock together. I mean, it's not a coincidence that all of your peoples, your high, top,
all the people that you picked.
And listen, I'm not saying white people don't go to jail, but we talking about some good white dudes going. And obviously, I'm saying that in quotation. I'm not saying like that's a good white man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it like that, but I'm saying these good, high esteemed white dudes who normally don't even get a
right.
They like doing some time.
And it seems to me, if you guys really pay attention, even the good intentioned people leave this guy in disgrace. Now, Rudy Giuliani, this guy worked the RICO angle.
All those comments. I did it again, y'all.
Well, this guy worked the RICO comment, the RICO statute against the mafia. Look at him today.
Right.
So let's get to these comments so we can catch up.
So Dee says, I'm a chef, no Winco fried chicken here, Donovan. I bet your chicken is fire.
Yeah. What do you do to spice it up? Just give us some examples.
Al says, Donovan, she's contradicting herself about the old school cartoons the other day. I was laughing about an old school cartoon and I hung up on him. I sure did. Because Al gets, he's got this tickle box and it just, I mean, it's just like, before I hung up, I said, I gotta go.
Right.
Okay, Al, he's talking to somebody else just cracking up. And he probably don't even know I hung up, to be honest with you. And Leroy says, I understand what Monique's point of view. But there are ways of conveying her expression. She needs a solid legal team and agency. I'm assuming she has a solid legal team, agency-wise. I think she has agents, and her husband also works together with her, managing her, if you will. So I don't know if he's considered her agent as well, but he's definitely her manager. And Cindy says, the question I do have, the question is, do I have to negotiate with you? Well, if you're saying that this apple was like that apple, but then this apple is red and this apple is yellow, they're not the same.
Right.
They're an apple,
but different.
Yeah, it's a different variety. So if you're telling me that if they're asserting that they offered Monique the same thing and she's saying the negotiation process wasn't there, they're not offering her the same thing, because everybody else, including Amy Schumer, was able to negotiate up, including Wanda Sykes. Says it sounds like they offered her $250,000. She said they moved the comma. She was also able to negotiate. Monique is saying that she wasn't able to negotiate.
She wasn't given the opportunity to negotiate.
Right. And so Al says, listen, people, F Popeyes. Winco is the absolute best chicken ever. Mic drop. God damn it.
Yes.
And Leroy says, let the papers do the talking. Absolutely. And that's what I said, too. We'll see when it's all over. Like a lot of people are speculating about Kaepernick, who's getting a shot tomorrow.
Right.
And
Isn't he with the Raiders?
He's at the Falcons, but I guess a couple of teams in Atlanta, but a couple of teams.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny what you do when you're desperate to win.
Right, but so everybody's trying to, as I said, Friday night quarterback, trying to figure out what's going on and he's going to do. I say, you're going to know when it's over.
Right.
Just like we're going to know Monique when the judge drops the gavel, what the verdict was.
And then she can always appeal if it isn't in her favor.
Right. And Amisha, you got a good point. She says, we're too loyal.
Yeah, we are.
We're too loyal.
That's what I
he got old busted and stayed on the job 30 years, even though he got a penny raise once a year. Well, I love this job. One day they're going to treat me right. And let's see. Oops. And Dee Dee says it's cheaper to keep her. Absolutely. And Pamela says right, blocking left and right. And Leroy, he says, I have a lot to say about this. Since everyone is calling out Trump, then let's go back in history of last-minute Florida votes.
Yeah, we could go back to do that. We know Florida is a very interesting area, but let's try to stick with what we got now. We can't really change what has already happened, but I say this every time, even on my regular show, the Donovan Sadiq show, you guys have got to understand. There's one party, the ruling party.
The ruling party.
These parties get their money from the same donors. It doesn't matter. Right now, Devoy Patrick, the former governor, Duval Patrick, the former mayor or governor of Massachusetts, has thrown his ring in the hat. Now, when he left the mayorship, where did he go? Bain Capital. Who owns Bain Capital?
Mitt Romney.
Who did he precede to become governor? Mitt Romney. So you think
who had a binder full of women?
Right.
Mitt Romney.
Right. So you
when he was debating Obama.
So right now the establishment is scared shitless because in the top three,
he's definitely a vote splitter.
Yeah, you have Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and nothing seems to be sticking. So what the best that they can do at this stage, you put Bloomberg in there. I mean, these billionaires. They're not going to make it. We are at a populist situation.
They're all vote splitters. That's what it is. And I saw Duval Patrick get into
Bernie.
the race. I was like, this dude is totally corporate.
I mean, who's going to tell him at this stage, yeah, man, you should run? A lot of people don't even know who this guy is. And then they're saying that he's behind
the 8 ball because he's got to raise all this money, which, mysteriously it's going to come from somewhere.
Right.
I mean, his predecessor, or his boss per se, is Mitt Romney, who's got all the money in the world.
Right, and you also got to remember, Deval Patrick is worth, they say, estimated $4 to $6 million. That's his personal wealth.
I heard it was like 500 or 600,000. From what I researched.
500, 600,000.
Yeah, because when I saw he got in, I did my research.
Okay, but
he might be worth more.
I mean, he went to Bain Capital, so I don't know if they're doing all inclusive or whatever. But the point is, at this stage...
Well, him and his wife had got into some financial chicanery when he became governor. They $15,000 drapes and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it was pretty ugly.
yeah, Negro stuff.
But okay, so Kamala's not working. Buttigieg,
Is he trending third or something
yeah,
like that?
no, yeah, he's
Depending
trending
on where
third.
it's at, yeah.
On which poll you're looking at. But the thing is, they do not want Bernie to get the nomination, and both parties, Republican and Democrat, are doing everything they can not to have Bernie, because we are now dealing with a popular. That's how Trump got in, on a populist platform. Nobody cares about that old way of doing things. Now it's a pop. What are you gonna do for everybody?
And this too, and I know you guys won't, but don't get fooled. When we'll get the rest of these comments, fooled by Duval Patrick.
Yeah.
He touts that he's, and I'm not saying he's not pro-black. I'm sure he is to some degree, but he's very pro-law enforcement as well. And
yes.
So
Remember, he's a big Obama guy, and what did Obama do for black people?
Right, but he's one of those people who's not gonna piss off. He's a Kamala, is what he is.
He's not gonna.
Yeah, I'm pro-police, but y'all should stop killing black people.
And then what? There's another candidate. Is it either him or something? And then Hillary is talking about getting back in the race
because she says people are telling her she needs to.
Yeah, she needs to get back for a third time. You lost to a black man. You lost to a chicanery white man. You're a loser. And who are these people telling you to get in the race?
The people that were with her.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And so, Cindy says, I told you this years ago. I think he's talking about all the cronies.
The cronies,
Trump's cronies. And Nietzsche says, lies he tells all the
Oh,
time.
my gosh. Did you guys see that he committed a crime in real time?
Yeah, it's like, oh, my God.
Intimidating a witness in real time.
Right.
And then what kills me is not the crime. The people who are making excuses. How many excuses are you going to make? What do they say in law? Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
They also say ignorance is bliss. I don't know how true that is either.
It's amazing.
And Cindy says Rudy is going to talk. I think.
Oh yeah.
Well, he already talking.
Yeah. Rudy lawyered up. He got 3 lawyers.
And he is.
And the top lawyer that he got used to intern for him during the RICO days. Yeah. So.
Hey, Jonelle. And Michi says Rudy gonna sing. Absolutely. And Edie says no plane, no food. I laugh my ass off. Al says there was an old man at the country club for years and wanted to quit. George Jefferson told him to take his money, his $100 to the old man. Refused and said fish gonna swim and birds gonna fly. George.
You gotta eat it. You gonna die.
You gonna die.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen, brother.
And Pamela, you say, Rudy said he has insurance.
Yeah, you remember that time he flashed that phone?
Yeah.
He said everything is right here.
Right.
So he's letting everybody know you throw me under the bus.
Or I come up dead.
Right.
If I wake up dead.
Right. I mean, it's crazy.
And what does that mean in the mafia world? I have insurance.
See, and that's the thing. Trump has been with the mafia for a long time. He wants to be a mafia
That's all
don.
mob talk, though.
And he's talking about he isn't being treated fairly. He's the most transparent president ever. You won't let people testify. You won't let people see your taxes.
Yeah, they got to force you to do stuff.
You got fined $25 million for running a scam university.
School,
and then
University.
You got fined another $2 million because you're using a charity to pay your bills.
Right.
And then you took money from bets that you raised for bets that you were going to keep for yourself. I mean, how do you...
Fake news.
Oh, my goodness.
And Leroy, he says, I love her fried chicken is bomb. Talking about his wife.
Oh, okay. All right.
You got to take your word for it. And Perez says, those Republicans have no integrity.
Oh, my gosh.
And Leroy says, it's literally a full job to follow the impeachment. You ain't lying. Because it's like all over the place, narrative. Since when does Ukraine political association affect us U.S. voters? Ukraine is not a U.S. territory.
Correct.
Right.
And the thing about how can I say it without, I'm trying to get it to where everybody will understand it. What happened, they keep bringing up the witness, or the whistleblower. Oh my God, we haven't even seen the whistleblower. It's secondhand knowledge, and you don't know. Everything has been corroborated by other witnesses that have come in. So whatever the witnessblower wrote, the whistleblower wrote that we haven't seen, has been corroborated by witnesses that have come in. So the whistleblower doesn't matter anymore. But see, Trump wannabe mafia, we're going to get that snake, that rat.
Yeah, call people
You
rat.
know, like
that ain't mob talk right there, yeah.
Like it really matters at this point.
Right.
The rat doesn't matter now.
Right.
So,
right. And Al says, Donovan, you and Dee should give her the money so she'll quit crying and y'all won't have to do another show on her again. Think about
Monique.
I'm not even going to honor that with a response. And then you also say, Donovan, my mom likes you. Told her he don't want to knock them spider webs off your...
Hey. Mom's looks good for her age, I must say. Unfortunately, I don't want to be Dee's best friend and her father-in-law.
That I will not even get into, okay? Jonelle says the game don't change, only fools.
Yeah.
The show for pacification of the masses regulated by those who control the selection and own the presidential chair, right?
Yeah.
To your point, I mean, we think we have all the say-so. I voted.
It makes you feel good.
Right.
If your vote mattered, 2000, George Bush wouldn't have been president. It doesn't. Your vote does not matter.
Right.
Trump
Trump would have been. Wouldn't have been president if that was the case.
Trump will win re-election. They are not going to impeach this man. But think about this. I want you guys to think about this politically. Why is Nancy Pelosi allowing the inquiry to go through? Because remember, she was against the impeachment unless there was overwhelming evidence.
Well, she don't eventually want to lose her job.
What it is Kamala Harris is not working out. The establishment is not working out. So they're using this as a distraction.
It's a dog and pony.
Yes, it's just something to just
entertain them.
Right. Look, we're doing something now because she would rather lose the presidency to be a Democrat than to have Bernie get the seat. Because think about it. If you're in the House right now, what do you got to lose?
Right.
You're not losing anything.
Right. You in it for a minute.
He's been in there for 3 years. They've been trying to get his taxes for 5 years when he was running.
Right.
They haven't gotten it yet.
Right. That's why when I hear this whole impeachment thing, I was like, this is a waste of time.
It's a game to get you riled up and get your neighbor riled up, and all the while the ruling class is sitting there laughing because they're the same party.
Right. And Sydney says, even though I like Amanda, she is cool.
Hey, that's my woman.
It says, I think maybe mean Amanda. She is cool. I have family and friends in Florida. So Amanda, my sister. I have family and friends in Florida. Florida has to go. The new where you can carry without a permit plus stand your ground. Mm-hmm. And then, but also in Florida, did they say felons can now vote? If I'm not mistaken?
They're working. Yeah, I think they restored voting rights to like 300,000 ex-felons.
And Leroy says the top media companies convey. You see how it's clear now, where it's hard to read. The top media companies convey all the narratives because Trump is
Put your glasses on.
president. No, I can see. Hard-headed, huh? A rogue president. He is not moved by the political adversaries. Through everyone, although I think it means everyone runs for the presidency, is not short of some form of corruption.
Yes, exactly. Do you guys actually believe all these guys think they have a shot?
Right. They're serving a purpose.
Right.
Right. Whether we know it or not, they're serving a purpose.
Right.
And hey, Berdina, he says he's a master deflector. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You just throw up the smoke screen and everybody falls for it.
And again, even though he has the title of Republican, he's not a Republican. He's a Democrat. He's always been a Democrat.
Said it himself.
And here's the thing. Who opposed slavery? Democrats. Most of the Democrats that are now Republicans, that's why the Southern South is mostly Republicans. Mm-hmm. These people are really Democrats.
Right.
That are posing as Republicans.
Absolutely.
Dianne Feinstein, she's a Republican posing as a Democrat.
A lot of her policies,
look at their voting records. Look at all these things. So you really got to look at what is happening.
Right.
And you're getting upset at your neighbor over here and this person over here. When if you follow the money, you say, wait a minute, you get your money from the same don't. The only person that gets their money from a grassroots populist standpoint is Bernie Sanders. He has 1 million people ready to go, and they are going to, and he's been consistent. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm an Andrew Yang guy, no doubt, but the fact of the matter is, I do not believe Andrew Yang is going to get the nomination. But I'm still going to vote for Andrew Yang, okay? Because I think he's the best thing going, $1,000 stipend, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, if Andrew Yang does not get the nomination, which is what I most likely think is going to happen, Bernie Sanders is going to be in the top 3. If it comes down to it, and Bernie is within that top 3 tier, and Andrew Yang doesn't drop out anytime in between then, if Andrew Yang drops out, I will support Bernie Sanders moving forward, if Andrew Yang drops out.
Not me.
Well, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just saying politically that is where we need to go. Because Elizabeth Warren is kind of, they can't stand her, but she's kind of wishy-washy on a few things.
Got it. Sydney says, we did not know who Deep Throat was until he was 90.
Yeah.
Why they want to know who is the whistleblower? Why do they want to know who the whistleblower? I am going back to read about Nixon. And that wasn't too long ago, Sydney. Like right before he died or something like that.
He
was
revealed
like,
himself. Yeah, he was the number 2 guy in the FBI.
Right, exactly. And Sydney says they have his taxes. Stop it. They have it. So you're saying they have his taxes now? Because didn't they win something?
No. He appealed to the Supreme Court. They don't have the taxes, the 8 years that is responded. Even though the circuit said, you got to give it up. From the accounting firm, they do not have the taxes. He immediately appealed to the Supreme Court. We might be able to see, I think Ginsburg, and she's been sick. Mm-hmm. She's the one that's going to say if she's going to see, hear the case or not. And then once they do that, we're going to see. But if they do hear the case, we will not get a ruling until June.
Got it.
This man will go through his whole first term, and we could not even see his taxes.
And so, Jonelle says, this is truly the presidential apprenticeship.
Yep.
Seasoned impeachment, it only shows all who's taking the Zionist dollars and those who want to rebel but don't want to be exposed to those who are paying for their position. Money, talking, and shutting mouths. Absolutely. Yep. They really don't. I've always felt that same way too, Don. They don't really want to impeach him. It's just, let's appease the people.
No, and you got to think about it. Why don't they want to impeach him? You don't impeach your own.
Right.
You don't impeach your own. Yeah, you don't impeach your own.
Right.
But they have to do something to get you distracted.
And I think a lot of people forget too that Trump was friends with most of those people.
Before he even said that. He goes, I know the game. I paid everybody.
And there's pictures with all of them at galas and all kind of stuff. So, the joke is really on the people. And theirs, not just Trump. They are. All of them are playing a joke on the people.
Mm-hmm. On us. And that's where we're at. And, so this thing gets to the Senate, he's not going to be impeached.
Right.
Joe Manchin, who's really a Republican that posing as a Democrat, look at his record.
Right.
The guy votes with the Republicans.
Right. I agree.
It's just not going to happen, people. But for principle, to make you feel good, they're going to say, look what we tried to do. Look what we done. And all the while that we are dealing with this facade of bullshit, is your lives getting any better? Are they passing any laws that are meaningful, that's going to help you in your daily life? Now, the Mexicans are up there at the Supreme Court right now, the Dreamers, which I don't see why the INS didn't make a mass sweep and grab them people up. But they're up there fighting to decide the DACA situation, and more power to them. Right. Am I going to be there with them? No, it's not my issue. Right. But more power to them. But for us, what's happening for us? Are they look at your infrastructure. Look at your streets. Look at what's happening.
Right.
That's what you got to look at and concentrate on.
Well, all right, everybody. I don't see any more comments.
Awesome.
And so we will be. Leroy says you are correct on everyone is playing a game. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nothing but a big game. But before we go,
sure.
You guys know we go on a lot of trips and we're doing a lot of good stuff. We're going to be expanding the Demetri K Show. We moved to a lot of platforms now, so you guys can see us while you're sitting in traffic wherever you're at. You just go to your Alexis or whatever and say, "Hey, I want to listen to the Demetri K Show." It should pop up. It is in the symbols.
Nice. You got a good picture of me?
Yes, that one where you're in the Batgirl thing, going like that.
Oh, okay.
You know, you were
back when I tried to do a photo shoot.
Yeah, and you were a little. I think that was what, 10 years ago?
No,
30 years ago?
No. Like maybe 4.
Well, 4 days ago.
5.
So
I'm getting back to that. Y'all watch. I got some fire.
Yes. So anything happening this weekend? I will be doing a basketball clinic tomorrow. I'm picking up my nephew. The basketball season's happening again, so I usually coach 2 teams. And
I'm not nothing special for me.
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
So, but tune in as things are going to be happening with this impeachment thing. It's going to be that important, you guys, to understand what is going on, because corruption is happening everywhere, and we are in a society now to where we've taught these kids, these millennials and people, it doesn't matter what you do. It's only cheating
if you get caught. And in closing, Sydney says, I live in a state where the Republicans the Republican knew that governor was gay before his wife knew. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I live in a state where the Republicans knew the governor of New York was soliciting sex from a madam.
Yeah, my man.
You don't think they have his taxes? I got a bridge. So you basically
I know what you're saying. They got taxes, but they don't.
They playing like they don't have
games,
got it.
Right.
Yeah, I totally believe it.
Right. Good point. Good point.
And Pamela says, have a good weekend. You have a good weekend.
Yes, you guys be safe out there, but also be vigilant and aware, because what they're doing up there impacts your pocket.
Absolutely. And Leroy says, Bernie Sanders is not a good favor in Washington State. Price gouging the citizens' taxes. This is a Democratic state, and I am not happy with the political realm's presence.
Okay.
All right.
But like I said, they're doing everything they can to take votes away from Bernie so he doesn't get the nomination. That's why these people are in there. I mean, imagine. Why would they talk? You got 16, 20-something candidates in there. Why would you jump in now?
Right. Well, I mean, we could talk about Duval, Patrick, or not on Sunday. And so we said on Sunday we're going to start devoting a little bit more to talking about how to help ourselves economically. Practicing group keeping, economics and all that kind of stuff. So I'll think of an angle to discuss it from, and so we'll be back here on Sunday at 3.
Yes, and I really do think we need to talk about some of you guys that have served in the military, all the benefits. Well, not all, but the benefits that are there that you guys are letting sit on the table because you're so stubborn, not to do it. Because I'm telling you, I just was able to finesse and write up a program that I'm going to be in for 2 years, that they're going to pay me $1,000 and all of my expenses while I'm in there. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give myself away. But the VA has that program there, and they're just giving me money tax-free to go. And, I don't have any GI Bill or nothing like that. It's just a straight program that they have. But there's all kinds of things you can do. There's all kinds of money. A lot of us have served, and we are dedicated.
You're welcome, Leroy.
Yeah, and we are dedicated, so we need to talk about that too, because there's a lot of people out there. Dee's a witness. I come and tell her all the time what the Lord has done for me. So but just think about it. For the next 2 years, $1,000. How much money is that, Dee?
$24,000, brother. Tax
your tax dollars. Not mine. Do I need the money? No, but it's on the table.
Well, then give it to me if you don't need it.
No.
You see how that see how people be lying to kick it? So anyway, y'all, we are out of here.
Yes.
We will see you guys on Sunday. If you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, please hit me up between now and Sunday morning, and I will be more than happy to do the work. See you guys on Sunday.
Sunday.
Peace.